Hello viewers, I am so happy once again to appear on your screen, and today we'll be dealing with the topic the spiritual, the emotional and physical consequences when marital intimacy is consistently denied, when it is consistently withheld in marriage. So this series will be addressing what happens when couples neglect or they withheld sexual intimacy in marriage. Not just the physical, but both spiritual and emotional consequences will be discussed in this episode. Understand that marital intimacy isn't just about the physical closeness, because it is God's given part of marriage that connects hearts, that connects souls and even spirits together, and then strengthens bonds and unlocks blessings in your home. So when intimacy is constantly withheld, there are real spiritual, emotional consequences and even physical consequences, because we will have to know that it goes beyond just physical connection, and when you go against the rules of God, there are consequences thereafter. So when either of the couple now chose to intentionally withhold sexual intimacy in marriage, there are consequences. To every cause, there are effects. So there will be consequences definitely, since it is God's design that is being tampered with. So I'll be bringing the consequences to us one after the other. I'll begin with the spiritual consequences of withheld intimacy in marriage. Do you know that intimacy in marriage is a spiritual shield? Yeah, a spiritual covering that when it is broken or when it is weakened, it invites the enemy. It gives access to the adversaries in your home. You know, it can also hinder your prayer, according to the book of 1 Peter chapter 3 verse 7. If it is now prolonged, that refusal is prolonged, it is an act of disobedience to God's order. And you know that when you disobey God, so many things will come thereafter. So if you constantly provoke and then you constantly prolong your refusal to allow your husband, there could be overall misfortune that could be attributed to your disobedience in that marriage. So let me just make it so clear to you that a marriage altar without intimacy becomes an altar without fire. It becomes cold, it becomes unguarded, and then it becomes vulnerable. So when the fire of intimacy goes out, the enemy lights strange fire in your home. Would you please be very careful? That is one of the major spiritual significance of you refusing your husband sexual intimacy, or of the husband refusing the wife sexual intimacy in marriage. It brings about overall misfortune, because definitely God returned his eyes back at you, because it was an act of continuous disobedience. So you cannot continue to disobey God and expect things to go the right way. You will become an enemy of God, and then you open strange fires in your home. I would mention the emotional fallout, the emotional effect, the emotional distance, and the wounds that come from consistent rejection is enormous. You know, it creates feelings such as rejection, loneliness, and then inadequacy. Don't you know that it could breed bitterness, insecurity, and emotional affairs? Yeah, you open door of all of that to your own significant other, and then there will be break in communication, and then it will weaken trust. What more do you want to know about this? I'll tell you. I will just have to tell you that most of your consistent and frequent turn off, you just said, not tonight please darling, I'm not ready today. The more you turn in up every week, every week, it builds like a silent tension and emotional separation, because when affection dies in marriage, communication becomes mechanical and love becomes a duty. So nothing will run smoothly in your family, and you know what could come as a result of bitterness, as a result of loneliness, as a result of consistent rejection, as a result of insecurity. So many things will befall your home because of what you are trying to do. The other part is the physical and psychological impact. This is how lack of intimacy affects physical health and attraction. Don't you know that it could lead to hormonal imbalance, stress, and restlessness? It could decrease your desires and physical connection in that marriage. And then some couples will start to seek fulfillment elsewhere. That is another loophole. And the scientific insight is telling us that there is a particular hormone, there is a particular bonding hormone that is usually released during sexual intimacy. So when this is no longer constantly or consistently released, something happens, something dies off in your home. very hormone, oxytocin to be precise, have a way to promote trust in your marriage. And then the absence can cause emotional withdrawal, and there you are heading towards complete collision, complete fallout emotionally with your significant other. Because when the body is starved of touch, then the heart begin to forget how to feel. Then everything will just become a commotion. It's a strange land for you and your significant other in that marriage. There are some other practical consequences in everyday's life, like household blessings may stall. Yeah, they could stop. When intimacy is withheld, the unity and harmony needed to receive God's divine blessing can be disrupted. You are no longer following the heart of God. You just turned your back at God. So there could be your God's given right, your blessings that could stop from flowing. So when you are going through some hardship in your home, when some of God's blessings are no longer frequent flowing in your home, check it out. It could be because you are withholding sexual intimacy from your significant other. There could be financial strain too. Marital stress can actually spill into work, decision making, and financial management. Couples who are always disconnected, they always struggle. Of course, their productivity level will decrease, and this will have a long-term financial strain in your marriage. Look out for this, please, because when financial decline without any explanation, you can't even explain it. All you knew is that your flow of income is just degenerating and that your finances are becoming so strained, so you can't even understand it. Please check it out. It is because you, with your own bare hands, you blocked the sources of God's flow of blessings into your family. Will be health and well-being consequences. Emotional and spiritual disconnection can lead to stress-related illnesses or overall misfortune. You might think it's a joke, but let me tell you that it is not a joke. It is possible that some chronic health issues will just pop up in your marriage. Your health will begin to depreciate, and so many things, so many diseases, so many chronic diseases that could be easily related to our reproductive system will fall on you because you were disobedient. All of this, God is the one who wired our system, and then He knows what will make them to work properly. So by you trying to work against the principles of God, of course, chronic disease, chronic health related issues will fall on you because you are walking in total disobedience to God's order and ordinances. Also experience spiritual growth. Yeah, there will be a total dryness. You feel that feeling of silence from God. God isn't speaking. God is no longer talking to me. God is no longer showing me things the way He used to show me before. I no longer have visions. I no longer have passions. Check it out. It is because you are not in good terms with your significant other. It could be as a result of your complete and total disobedience to God. There would be increase in chaos, and you have so many conflicts within the household. Of course, the house cannot be fine when the bed is not shaking. Then your marriage is actually shaky. Please, we have to watch out for all of these signs. So if you have been noticing any of these signs in your marriage and you have no tangible explanations, please go back and check properly in your sexual intimacy with your significant other. That could be the reason why things are falling out of plan. That is the reason why you feel God is kilometers, miles away from your home. That could be the reason why you feel your prayers has not been answered, because you are in total disobedience to God. You cannot be the enemy of God and then expect everything to be in order. So when you are in total disobedience to God, you turn your back at God, then you give the enemy the key into your home. You give the enemy direct access to your family. Please watch out of this. Watch out for all of this. It is still not too late to reignite what you allowed to fade. Work on it. Bring sexual intimacy back to your family. It is God's design. It is God's pattern, and it will open channels of blessings and peace and comfort in your family. As I will be closing this, let me tell you one big lie, one blatant lie that the devil is using nowadays. An ideology that is not scriptural, that is not morally okay, that is not culturally acceptable. People in the secular world have this ideology they are trying to promote now, that when you withhold sexual intimacy, it is a way of self-empowerment. I'll tell you that that is a lie from the pit of hell. Please watch out for it. Make yourself available to your significant other. Be happy, be sexually satisfied in your marriage, and see what God will do. Thank you so much for listening to me today. I pray that the Lord will bring back everything that is lost, and God will revive and restore and refresh everything that is dead in your home. My name is Helen, the set person of Marriage on the Rock and Singles with Purpose. Bye bye. Have a pleasant weekend ahead. Your home is blessed.